Hey guys, welcome back to Maxplained Dawn of War Unification. Today I have another faction guide for you, and this time for the Death Korps of Krieg. The Kriegers got quite the update in version 7, so we will look through all the new stuff and all the adjusted stuff, of course. Lore-wise, they are the clone soldiers, very zealous to the Emperor, fighting to the last man. They do not know a tactical retreat or anything. So yeah, very interesting art style. It is kind of World War I style a lot, and yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. We have you will hear the voiceovers. They are a mixture of German, English, and French a bit, I think. So it's gonna be. I really like this faction. It plays kind of like a G, but kind of not. It's a godlike faction, of course, and it is more active, a little faster than IG is my take on them. But yeah, let's jump into the save game and see for the units and stuff. And here we are in the save game where we see basically all the units and structures. But before we go through all of them, first to the resources and unit caps. Resources are standard in that it is requisition and power. The acquisition is also standard, you get it from the HQ, listing post points and stuff like that. The only exception is that your LP3 provides you plus 27 instead of 24, so a little more. Yeah, power is power generator, bigger power generator, and of course the resource upgrades. Where it gets a little more special is in the unit caps. You start with the same as IG with 6 and 0 unit caps. But you do not get more infantry cap by getting infantry commands and stuff like that. There is a research in your HQ, which are called Vital Womb Chambers add-on 1. There are 3 of these, and every upgrade increases the infantry cap by 6. So you get 12, 18, and then 20. Your vehicle cap is a little more like IG. You get, I think you also start with, yeah, you start with 6-4, sorry. The standard is also for IG 6-4. For your assembly plant, which is basically your vehicle command or mechanized command, gives you plus 6. Your Lucius pattern command gives you plus 6. Your Titan production building teleportarium gives you plus 6. And yeah, later we will talk about another building that is not currently available, which also increases your vehicle cap. So that's the caps, and now start by going through the buildings. The buildings I have all more or less all over here. You have your HQ where you get your builders, your capping units, your various commanders, and what is special if you have a research done, which is the entrenchment course, it can summon mines, tank traps, and barbed wires. All these are more expensive than if you would build them from a engineer, which is your builder, and have quite a good radius, but they are more or less instant. Poof, there you go. And yeah, these tank traps, I will talk about later what these actually do, but you can summon them from your HQ, which is pretty handy, but costing a lot of resources. Your unit production structures are your field barracks for all your infantry, your assembly plant for your quote normal vehicles, Lucius pattern for your relic stuff, and then teleportarium for the tier 1 and tier 2 Titan. You also have the Vox Center, which is your research building, but the Vox Center also houses the Vendetta heavy, not a heavy gunship, it is Vendetta gunship as your flyer. And yeah, all the upgrades in the world you have over here. Something about the buildings in general is that you have the tunnel network, similar to IG. The tunnel network works on the field headquarters, on the field barracks and the assembly plant, and for the buildings, for the normal buildings, but also for the listening posts and your bunkers we have over here. So these are the buildings where you can tunnel through. You will not shoot out of the buildings except for the observation posts, your listening posts. There, any unit you will put in will shoot out. All the other ones do not shoot out. Exception also the bunker we will talk in. Yeah, let's talk about the defensive structures. And the bunker is your quote-unquote starting turret, but it has one special thing about it. It has in the beginning not the biggest range. I cannot show you because I need to have a unit inside, and it can only be built in the building radius, and the radius later on is a little bigger, but it starts with this, a normal size. So there's a lot going on with the bunker. The bunker, it must be loaded so that it must be filled with someone to fire. You will see the little heavy bolter guy then inside the bolter team. So it cannot shoot by its own. It cannot build anywhere. It needs to be in the radius, and it's a little more expensive. And it has a reason, because it is really strong. It has suppression, slowing down enemy movement, has high damage and all the good stuff. You can get an upgrade later on in tier 2, advanced reconnaissance, which increases the range of the heavy bolter. You can later on in tier 3 upgrade the heavy bolter to an autocannon. Do we see also the upgrade? Oh yeah, an autocannon, and later then a last cannon. So this changes that. You can also have an add-on if you research it in tier 4 to conceal your bunker. It is very expensive in tier 4, so you will rarely see it. Also, you will not all the time see the weapon upgrade, because the suppression, the slow, is one of the biggest upsides for the bunker over your standard turret. So that's why it is feared and also so useful. You can only build a bunker for field barracks if you have a field barracks, and each field barracks, for each barracks you can only get 2 bunkers, and you can only get up to 2 field barracks, so it's a maximum of 4 bunkers in any given time and space. So that's also kind of limiting their possibilities. In tier 2 you get access to the gun turret emplacement, which is basically a big old gun turret basically. Very strong, very expensive though. Let's quickly check. 120 and 90, so very heavy on the power side, but yeah, really good as well. In tier 4 you can then upgrade it with plasma cannon or give it more health with these trenches around it. Lastly, also in tier 2 available is the Earthshaker platform. The Earthshaker platform is relatively large scale artillery platform. You can have up to 3, 1 per HQ I think. Yeah, 1 per HQ. And the neat thing about it, the reload rate and range does increase with each vox center you have. So that's a very niche application, mainly used for survival of course, but if you look at the range about to this side, if I build another vox center, it will increase. You see here, if you have enough vox centers, it at some point gets basically map wide. Has the issue as all artillery platforms, it does not fire on its own a lot, so you want to hotkey it and then have it manually target while you're fighting. That's that. I have also a generator here for standard purposes. Yeah, then your other defensive structures that do not fire on their own, of course, are mines, minefield. You have barbed wires. Barbed wires got reworked in the version that they are basically walkable. Enemy can walk over and get slowed and get minor damage. So this is the idea. And then you have a tank trap, which is currently invisible for the opponent, which should not be the case, I think. Let's see if this gets changed or not. But yeah, basically a 400 HP movement blocker. Relatively cheap, I think. Yeah, only 50 requisition. And then you have this entrenched cover. What is this? If you have the entrenchment course, you can use the dig for cover ability from your engineers and can create these little entrenched thingies somewhere where you get defensive bonuses when you're in. Basically, kind of looks like heavy cover. I do not think it's actually heavy cover, but you know what I mean. You have then this little zone where you have some defensive bonuses. So really like that one. Last thing about the bunkers, I forgot, it can also summon barbed wires and tank traps, no mines, also needing the entrenchment course of research. I think this covers the buildings. Let's talk about the units, starting of course as the usual with the builders and commanders. The builders are very cool, I like them. Engineers, not only because they are engineers and I'm an engineer. They have little shotguns, they have little doggo, cat and hund. The doggo is good in melee and for most part is very good as it can detect. So that's tier 1 detection for you. And then you have the engineer sergeant. Who is this? This one over here. Doesn't look a lot different than the others, but it gives them access to fire a mole launcher, which is very costly and requires tier 3, but can give you some sort of artillery. Poof. Kind of work for them, so very interesting to have him in the squad. Yeah, and generally very useful, limited to 3. Tier 1 commanders we have over here. You first and foremost have the Lord General Command Squad. Lord General Command Squad, I have given him all the retinues he has over here, I think. Yeah, he can get 1 of 4 retinues. A standard bearer over here, giving as the Lord General in general has the general itself has an aura, increasing the morale and stuff of units around, and then you have the standard bearer granting another aura, also for it only shows states inspiring all units around. Yeah, that's the use for him, more of a supportive role. Then you have the Vox caster here. This guy detects, so another thing, instance of tier 1 detection, very nice. And later on in tier 3 he can use artillery strikes and missile barrage. You see the artillery strike is pretty expensive. It is yeah, kind of like a little flare going on and then boom. Come on. There you go. And you have also like this missile barrage, which is like a little like the Straven run of the command squad, kind of. Yeah, you see. It costs some resources, but if you have more Vox casters in the squad, they have all a individual cooldown, so you can have multiple strikes per costing a hell of a lot of resources. But for the most time you will see the veteran bodyguards melee or ranged units on him. He in general is more of a ranged commander than a melee commander. You see later on they get cool weapons, but the veteran bodyguards range start off with plasma guns in tier 1, which is very nice to have in tier 1 to be able to have a sustained ranged combat on a commander like unit. So really nice for that. It's not the best in melee in general, but yeah, is more range focused. The other 2 commanders you have access to is the Commissar. The Commissar itself is quite a combatant, making units morale and health, the units he's attached to, increase that. And yeah, is a combatant on himself and has a special ability, Rally to Me. It is not a rally for one squad, it is a rally in an AoE, which is really nice. You can have up to 3 of these, and you will need them. Once we talk about the infantry, you will see why. So long cooldown, and yeah, but very useful in the AoE kind of sense. Your last tier 1 commander is the Lady Inquisitor. The Lady Inquisitor starts off with being good in range and melee on her own, but in tier 1 she also has the Hammer of the Witches, a single target damage and stun ability. In tier 2 she gets the Smite, basically an AoE damage ability, and in tier 3 she gets Curse of the Machine Spirit, which is a vehicle stun, so more of a utility kind of commander. In tier 2 you get access to the Quartermaster, which if you listen to his voiceover is a little insane. He's basically an apothecary kind of guy. You can attach them to a squad, giving them some regen capabilities. Very nice on melee squads, you can imagine. And then we have another cool team over here, which is the Sniper Kill team. The sniper itself has quite a long range and can detect. Can also throw crack grenades if you have researched it, and have this illumination flare. I think this is from the Voxcast over here, giving some vision around it. Very nice. The range is pretty high, and then you have the long last scope, which increases the range by quite a bit. You can see here kind of like a Vindicator Assassin, but these guys are tier 2. You can also infiltrate them. There you cannot use the scope on any abilities, and they are getting really slow. So you for the most part will have them in normal visible stance, but if you are like then in a fight, you might want to turn the infiltration on to keep them alive. So that's all your commanders. Let's talk about infantry. And before we talk about the individual infantry, there's a trait of the Korps of Krieg infantry. Not all, but for the tier 1 infantry and also for the grenadiers. If they lose morale, you lose control. They're becoming so zealous, they do not want to retreat. They fight to the end until they die, which is obviously very dangerous in tier 1. If an enemy, for example, uses morale damaging weapons like flamers and stuff, this can be dicey and lead to squad losses. And this is why the AoE rally ability from the Commissar is so important to keep your whole units in check, even in tier 1. You start off with the Jaegers. I think in general these are kind of like 16-year-old kind of clones. They are all clones, like the Star Wars Clone War. They are relatively fast on their feet. They can use, which I call the Jaeger bomb, which makes them invisible. They can still fire, they can still walk, they can still capture and all the stuff. You can even activate while they're capturing, if they're getting attacked. Then you can use that, very nice. You need a walk center for that to be used. And the Watchmaster gives them the charge ability, basically giving you a big old movement speed bonus for quite some time. It's a tier 2, however, as is the crack grenade launcher they have access to, which is very nice in taking down enemy listening posts if they are unprotected and stuff. Very useful little guys, only take up 1 population as well, so yeah, Jaeger spam for example is a valid strategy if you know what to do. If you leave them unsupported and they lose morale, they die. Yeah, relatively cheap to reinforce, as you can see. The other tier 1 squad you have access to are the soldiers. The soldiers are your standard kind of guardsmen fellas having a frag grenade if you research it, and the Watchmaster as well gives them the little charge ability, very good for redeployment, be it offensively or defensively. In tier 1 they have access to grenade launchers and flamers. In tier 2 they also get plasma guns and melter guns. Their grenade launchers in general are pretty good and widely used. You sometimes see also plasma guns depending on the matchup, of course. Melters of course are also kind of useful. They also suffer from the I call it seal, or these control loss once they lost their morale. In tier 2 you get access to more units. You have the Death Riders, which are really cool if you ask me. Guys on horses. Even the horses having gas masks, right? Or no, these, yeah, they have gas masks. And they have 2 abilities. Once you have the Death Rider Commissar, they also have this Rally to Me AoE ability, which is very useful. But the other one, which is interesting, is the Fix Melter Lances. They are normally meant to fight infantry, but they can also attach little melter bombs on their spears here, which lets them do a good anti-vehicle and anti-building damage for a short amount of time. Doesn't cost you any resources, but the duration is also very low. You will see it here. Will turn off momentarily, and then you have to wait for quite a lot to take it back. So to use them against vehicles can be kind of dicey because of like the movement priorities of vehicles. If they move away, these guys will not attack and will not deal damage, so you're kind of dependent on the enemy making mistakes, which is not always useful. But for what they're really good is standing targets like buildings and artillery that is really slow, for example. They can run around killing artillery and stuff like that. In general, really nice as a first melee unit they have access to, apart from the commanders, that is. You also get access to the heavy weapon platoon and the mortar platoon. The heavy weapon platoon starts off with the heavy bolter guy, which is this, and then you can add up to 2 fellas, and in tier 2 you could use the autocannons, and in tier 3 you get also access to the las cannons. The autocannons in general have really high range, as you can see here, and normally what people prefer. The las cannon has a little more punch against vehicles, but has a little lower range, which is the standard rate. And if you have research entrenchment courses, you can also use the digging in, which gives them, I think it's only here, the temporary buff in this area, and I think it also gives them a little mass increase. But yeah, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but having them deployable defensive bonuses can be very useful. Costs requisition, however. And then you have the mortar platoon over here, which only adds like more mortar dudes to them. Can also use the digging in ability and have some special rounds. You have the smoke shells, they start with them. Smoke shells basically, let's hit the ground over here. Well, no cooldown. Blind enemy gunners, making enemy, should I say enemy sight range reduced when they are inside of here. And if you have then the gas, what is it called? The gas drills or whatever, you can use these gas shells as well. Gas, and I forgot about the Lord General, they have also like these gas grenades, which can be used by the veterans over here. They have an individual cooldown for each veteran. Has one basically, and you also need the special research for it. It is a tier 2 research, so you can get it. So in general, Krieg can use these gas attacks, which are normally good against infantry, of course. That's a tier 2. In tier 3 you get access to 2 special infantry squads, both limited to 1. You have the Grenadiers over here, which are basically range superiority units. More tanky, and yeah, generally better than your soldier counterpart, of course. You can use the Blendkörper smoke grenade. Blendkörper is a German word. Smoke linger also used for blinding. Yeah, it's basically similar to the smoke shells of the artillery over here. Yeah, having an AoE where the enemy cannot really look. You have also the gas grenades, crack grenades, and the charge ability from the grenadier, so sergeant. So very versatile. You see it also in the weapons. Can have all the weapons a soldier squad can have, but also the heavy stoppers. And the heavy stoppers is really nice because as you can see here, you can have up to 6. No, not up to 6. You can have heavy stoppers on them, and heavy stoppers are really nice as they have the trait to slow enemy. Basically, how should I say it? Suppress as the term. So you suppress the enemy, which is basically a slow. And then you have these mad lads over here. These guys with maces and the guy with the sword over here are called the trench raiders. The trench raiders are your melee unit. You have access to tier 3 melee unit. Best coupled, of course, with the medic guy over here, the quartermaster, to give them more HP regeneration. Very tanky lads, not the fastest, but of course you can have the charge ability from your trench raider sergeant, so they get a lot faster. And they have also these, oh no, they have melter bombs, normal melter bombs. I thought they have also these, but they do not have. They have melter bombs which you can throw, so yeah, they can be used against vehicles and buildings, I think. Vehicles and buildings and the crack grenades. Vehicles and buildings, so basically another anti-vehicle grenade on them. Yeah, the mortars and heavy weapon platoons are relatively slow and really expensive, so if the enemy catches them, they are pretty easily killed. So you want to protect them, and the best way to protect them is to put them in a vehicle transport unit. But these heavy weapon platoons and mortar platoons take 2 spots in a vehicle, so you can only transport 1. This also has the consequence that they cannot load in an observation post, only in the bigger buildings, to use the tunnel network. So they cannot tunnel out any listening post or bunker for you, which is good, I think. Now jumping over to the vehicles. Your tier 1 vehicles are 3. You have the little Siegfried over here, which is basically very cheap, very mobile little unit with a multi-las? I think it's called multi-las cannon or something. No, not las cannon, multi-laser. Multi-laser, now I have it. Multi-laser on top, so very fast, relatively sturdy for what it is, and yeah, can be very useful. But then you have also the Storm Chimera. The Storm Chimera over here is a little has a little more punch than your normal Chimera, and also can add a pintle heavy stubber. The pintle heavy stubber also slows the enemy for a bit, I think, and adds some more damage to it, relatively cheap for what it is. And then you can in tier 3 also change the main gun to an autocannon, which is very nice. So these, if you keep them alive basically in tier 2 and get to tier 3, you can make more use out of them, which I always kind of like if you have these kind of options. Normally you want to go for tier 3 vehicles, but if you have them still around, might as well give them an autocannon. Then over here you have the Hellhound. The Hellhound also gets the pintle heavy stubber. You will see it on other units as well. Can use let burn ability, which is basically a big AoE damage. You see it also does friendly fire. Tier 3 required, and you have access to being a gem cannon in tier 2 and a melter cannon in tier 3. So you can double down an anti-vehicle with the Hellhound in tier 3 with it, or anti-infantry with the gem cannon, which is also really nice. In tier 3 you get also access to more vehicles. The first one is the Ragnarok over here, basically a how should I say, Lehman Russ light kind of thingy. Has a big old cannon on the front. Can you get a Ragnarok's Demolisher cannon replaced, or a pintle heavy stubber, but then it keeps its main gun, and also can get a hull mounted las cannon, which is kind of currently bugged, but yeah, I think once this video is out it's already fixed. For now, if in this version I have, you need to activate some victory conditions, which is not the vanilla new squad win condition, but another one. So yeah, there you go. The next vehicle you have is the Centaur. The Centaur is basically a grenadier transport. Only grenadier can load in, and you also need a grenadier on the field to produce it. Has a heavy stubber on the front. Quite wide range, relatively cheap, I think, for what it is. You can have multiple on. Yeah, look at it, relatively cheap for what it is. And can use smoke launchers, which is your, like the normal smoke launchers you know from other units around. And it can also fire Panzerfaust, hunter-killer missile basically, but looking cooler. Can load in grenadiers, as I said. Yeah, and then you can have access to Basilisk. So the Basilisk for Death Korps of Krieg is a tier 3 unit. Has also access to the Pintle Heavy Stubber. It comes to close quarter combat, but in general it is meant for long-ranged artillery support, of course. Starts off with the Phosphex rounds, which is basically a round, really expensive. You can see it doing some flaming damage and damage over time. Shares a cooldown with the gas round, which also needs the, now I remember what it's called, the chemical warfare drills. It's an upgrade in tier 2. So that you want to have. Quickly want to show off the gas grenades on the mortars, because they can be really effective if you have them. Costing you also some power to use, but yeah, worth every penny if you ask me. And now we have also the gas round over here. Let's see how this looks. Basically yellow, I guess. Loading up, firing, and there you go. Very useful, these kind of abilities. In tier 4 you get access to more units. You see here you have a Bombard, which is basically a shorter range big boom variant of the Basilisk. Very good short range artillery. You have access to the Malkador main battle tank, which also can get a Pintle Heavy Stubber, and has a loadout variation of D3, starting with heavy bolters, but these heavy bolters on top can be changed to a Malkador battle cannon, an Annihilator, which is an autocannon, I think, and then also a Vanquisher cannon. The Vanquisher cannon, yeah, is the most expensive and probably that what people want to have the most. And then you have also this Commissariat Lehman Russ. This is special in many ways. The Commissariat Lehman Russ has more or less a normal Lehman Russ, but limited to 1, and has this little commissar on top, which inspires units around, but has also this rally to me ability, which is used for infantry, costing some resources here, however. And you have some special ways to upgrade your side weaponry. You start up with an upgrade which gives you heavy flamers. Once you have that, you can get plasma cannons, and once you have that, you can get multi-melters. I myself like the plasma cannons the most because, yeah, plasma cannons rule. So, and you need to research them in succession. So you start with the flamers, then you get the plasmas, and then you can could go for the melters. I will delete this little fellow over here because it shares a cap with the Infernus. Infernus over here is a Malkador basically with flaming weaponry, also gets the Let It Burn ability, which requires tier 3, but yeah, this guy is tier 4 anyway, I think, and requires a relic. So big flaming bits over here, and can get a neutron laser protector. Look at the cost for it. Requires an HQ planetary, yeah, siege. Powerful alpha strike weapon. We will see how it looks once it's finished. Really nice. For a relic units, you have 2. You have the Minotaur, which is a twin-barreled basilisk having long range, big damage. Really nice to have. I like that. But you can also get a Mecarius over here. The Mecarius is basically a Baneplate Light. You see it in the HP, but also in the costs. Note that the Minotaur is also relatively cheap for a relic unit. But you need to upgrade it to make full use of it. You can get the Vulcan Cannon, the Vanquisher Battle Cannon, or you can see here the Omega Plasma Cannon. The price of this upgrade with the base price is more or less how you would normally price a relic unit, so that's how it is kind of balanced out. Over here we have now not really, quite a long building time, limited to 1, and here you have it. Now look at this long lead over here, long range, big damage against, what does it state? Oh, we haven't read it, but it looks like a big anti-vehicle weapon, whereas this upgrade, the Omega Plasma Cannon, is of course big AoE and infantry weaponry. You might wonder what is it's about with the Lucius Pattern Baneplate. The Lucius Pattern Baneplate is not a relic, it is a super heavy, what it's called. It does not share a cap with these other leads over here, but requires you to have a relic and a critical, and costs more than a standard relic unit. You can see over here it costs 600 instead of the standard 400. And yeah, look at this one. Really, really nice. Yeah, it doesn't get any special weapons, but does it really need some? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 weapons. Maybe I'm missing some. Really good. And I think little details on the modeling. Look at these little antenna over here. If you fire them, I think I thought at some point that they were moving back with each shot. Okay, maybe this is disabled over here, but at some point I saw them going back and forth, which I really liked. Maybe there's something missing on this mode over here. And then last ground unit vehicle you have here is the Lucius Pattern Warlord, having 6 different weapons enabled on them. Tier 2 Titan unit with a Void Shield over here, having also the Juggernaut ability, which allows them to be a little faster on their feet and also knocking back any units around. Basically a getting in jail free card if you have some melee units around swarming it. And yeah, that's the way normally to take down the Titan, either with a Titan Killer ranged weaponry or with stunning abilities and with melee squads. That's how you normally tackle the Titan if you do not have your own Titan fighting it instead. Lastly, we come over here to the flyer units, and I really like this Zeppelin, I have to say. Für den Imperator, for the Emperor in German, is over here. You can't really see it because of the color scheme I have, but yeah, trust me, it's there. But yeah, first we start with the Vendetta gunship. The Vendetta gunship is a really nice tier 3 flyer unit. Can land to load in units and can also take them out. And if you have the chemical warfare drills, you can also have these little mustard rounds, which is called basically chemical rounds you can dispense with them. Limited to 2 or 3, I think. Quickly checking. I have now 1 to 3, yeah. To 2? To 2. For good reasons, it's really strong. And then this one, the big Zeppelin over here, Luftschiff Ungetüm. How do I translate it? Luftschiff means basically aircraft, and Ungetüm is basically a giant, a monster kind of thing. So there you have it. Has a multitude of weapons. Has like, I think this is a las cannon, flamers, and these are demolisher cannons basically, I think, or demolisher, or like these big boomy bits. Has several abilities. It can yeah, drop mines, which I like if it moves it drops mines, because costs nothing, but yeah, and it is tier 1 Titan equivalent, the big Zeppelin is. Has also these mustard gas bombs, which is basically the same as the Vendetta has. Also requires the chemical warfare turrets, and also have these Tesla bombs. I think these Tesla bombs are kind of stunning stuff. Okay, you see, this is quite the cool assortment of units and buildings, but I tell you what, there's a whole assortment of units, these are still firing, assortment of units that are locked behind various victory conditions, which we will have a look right now. Yeah, and from this little angle over here, we can probably not see everything, but from this angle over here, you see there are quite a lot of stuff you can have that is not available through, let's say, normal, in the normal game, which you have to enable via victory conditions. The victory conditions are, I will try to name them when I go through the unit, but I'm not sure for all of them. So if I do a mistake, please correct me in the comments. These are the units you can get, let's say, in the normal structures. First of all, you have the Schutztruppen, which was a survival exclusive unit in the previous version, is now available over here. I think it requires you to have the Bourbonian Guard victory condition enabled, but yeah, not sure, please correct me if I'm wrong. These are tier 1 unit, which required you to have the Lord Commissar, Lord General Command Squad out, so they cannot hit the field right away, you need to have the commander first. They have also the downside that they do not get heavy weapons in tier 1, but they make up for it for being generally awesome, without having gas masks and stuff, looking really cool with the beard and stuff, and having a very German VO. Soldaten stillgestanden and stuff like that. They are, I think, mainly German. Also the little helmets over here, really nice. And yeah, these lads get heavy stabbers in tier 2. In tier 2, heavy stabbers, so that's really good. Melter guns, of course, really good. But Inferno grenade launchers. Inferno grenade launchers doing some AoE. Can you use it, please, for me? Can you use it? There you go. a flaming effect on attack. Also does friendly fire. I have experienced that myself, so be wary. Enemy jumping unit, enemy jump squads jumping into your lines while you have these grenade launchers with flame is absolutely absolutely menacing, but yeah, it's kind of accurate, I guess. But yeah, for the most part, I would highly recommend go these heavy stoppers in tier 2 if you have them enabled. They are kicking ass. You also get a frag grenade and charge, so these are soldiers but different. Then you have also the Ogrins over here. Normally the Death Korps of Krieg lore-wise are really racist and even like these app humans over here. They are toggable by the Death Korps of Krieg exchange program victory condition, which exchanges these Ogrins with the Trench Raiders. They are a little more tanky and beefy and bigger, of course, but they do not get the charge ability that Trench Raiders get from their sergeant. So I myself prefer the Trench Raiders, not only because the Trench Raider unit itself is really nice, it also is, I think, more useful in general. Then we have also the Colossus Purifier, which is a bombard on steroids, tier 4 unit requiring a relic as well, and shooting radioactive shells. There you go. You hear it also in the sound that you have radioactive, and the guys getting hit by it also have this radiation debuff, kind of similar to the Death Strike missile kind of thingy you get for Imperial Guard, but different. This is not as deadly as the Imperial Guard variant, but still very nice. Was a survival exclusive before, and now needs, I think, the Imperial Guard Eagle Regiment Victory Edition, but correct me if I'm wrong. And the other one, the Death Hammer over here, which is a variant of a Baneblade with even more guns. Has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guns at least. Requires a relic and a critical, basically super heavy, and is built in your Titan production building in your teleportarium over here. Also locked behind the Eagle Regiment Victory Edition, I am pretty sure. Very nice, of course, to have another unit around. And you see here the bunkers, why I've placed them here. You see also the little icons over here. You can upgrade your bunkers, I think also with the Eagle Regiment Victory Edition, but please correct me if I'm wrong, to medical bunker or to repair bunker. This gives AoE healing for infantry, AoE healing for vehicles. And these, if you ask me, could also be in normal skirmish. I really like them. I know them from Dawn of War 2 Elite Mode, which I have watched a few years ago quite a lot, and they are really liked when they use the bunkers that way, and I would really like to have them enabled in the general as well. You can still combine them with the weapon upgrade or the camouflage, but they cannot get both, of course. They can only get one vehicle, a vehicle, or what am I saying, medical or repair bunker, and then you can also get only the bunker weapons or the camouflage. These are not compatible otherwise. Lastly, you can also get an upgrade over here in tier 4, I think, Unwavering Seal, also locked by the Eagle Regiment. Please correct me if I'm wrong. This basically gives the various bonuses to the soldiers, basically to all the Death Korps of Krieg infantry, including commanders, if they are near other units, infantry or commanders, like infantry commanders. The more models you have in the vicinity, the more bonuses you get. The bonuses are HP, knockback resistance, damage resistance, and I think also damage, general damage output. So you see here, you see it in the HP. The more units you have close, the higher the bonus get. Even if you build more, you see here it kind of multiplies itself. So this is kind of crazy if you think about it, and yeah, not really balanced for PvP, but a very valid tier 4 option if you really want to get into the thick of it, like in a assault mode. I would like to see that the most, because there you have probably a lot of infantry models next to each other assaulting an enemy position and stuff like that. Can be very useful. And this is all fine and dandy over here, but you have all around a little kind of sub-faction over here, which is KT Reinforcements Victory Condition, which gives you access to this new building, Interplanetary Reinforcement Zone. KT for you is basically like a East Asia kind of Imperial Guard faction, I think. And yeah, this is only enabled if you have this victory condition enabled. Also increases the vehicle cap and then grants you access to these various units over here. In tier 2 you get access to the blaze troopers, which have these little melters, I think. I would describe them as melters, but they're probably something else. Armed with powerful hotshot volley guns, and as well as shoulder shotguns loaded with explosives and terminatory rounds. Oh, basically, yeah, you have these Dragon Breath ability, which exchanges their weapons. Then you activate these shoulder shotguns, then which gives you shoulder shotguns. Wow, Hammer 40k is so cool. You have shoulder shotguns, of course. They have a lower range than your normal hotshot guns over here. But yeah, really nice in tier 2. And then you have also the Iron Guard, which is basically a heavy weapon team over here. Looks like it has an autocannon. And yeah, can uproot. It calls here basically it is entrench and yeah, de-entrench, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, basically like a heavy weapon team over here. Okay, let's quickly talk about the special commander over here. Sergeant Major Wade Willie Watson and Brother Sergeant Logan. So if you have visited the cinemas lately, you kind of know what it is. It's Deadpool and Wolverine over here. Really expensive, tier 3. And yeah, they get a little crack grenade over here, which is special. Then you have the Chimichangas, which increases the HP for Mr. Deadpool over here. And you have the maximum effort, a tier 4 thing, which increases the basically 5k capability of him, like damage, speed, everything. And then you have, if you get little Logan over here, which is set to be an Imperial Fist, I think. Have these Going Feral, which is a big AoE damage ability, or basically damage ability around him. Costs quite a lot of resources, so it is probably kind of worth it. So there you have a little cameo for you. Yeah, and now going through the other units you have access to. You have access to the names, I really like the names. Bayou Assault Troop Crawler, which is basically a troop carrier with a big old plasma cannon on top. There you go, can also use the Watch Your Step, making units around him invulnerable for a short duration. Totally balanced for PvP, of course. Not. In tier 3, you get access. Is this the Dragon Tank normally? I think. Ah yeah, in tier 3 you get the Dragon Tank over here, which is a flaming tank, which also unleash the, what is it called? Unleash the Firestorm, which gives you, yeah, like this flaming AoE ability. Starts with, calm down please. Starts with a red flame, but can get Black Promethium, giving him a blue flame, which is an upgrade you can get here in tier 4. In tier 4 you get a Xuan Wu Punisher tank, which is a Gatling gun tank, I think also suited for anti-aircraft, I think it states here. And then you have the kind of relic unit for the Cathay, which is the Quillin tank. No, that's not, this is just a tier 4 unit, not a relic unit. And yeah, limited to 2, I guess, yeah, like Lehman Rust it is. And this one who is also limited to, there are quite a lot of tier 4 tanks. As you see, it is not really balanced for PvP, so really good, however. You have the focus fire, which reduces its movement speed and everything, but the reload speed for the unit gets increased by quite a lot. Your relic kind of unit over here is the Su Rong tank. Big old double guns on top, and what I really like, you can add autocannons to it or speakers. And speakers give you a AoE, what is it called? Improves technical instruction, field repair and medical operations. Hereby units regain safe healing and field repair. So you have a big old relic tank which gives you healing abilities around for free. So that's something I really like. And like you will see the model with the speakers. It's so awesome. Give me a second. Here. Poof. So really liking this tank. Who had ever thought that the tank with speakers would look so menacing? You also have access to 2 aircraft. You have the Feng 1 fighter, which is a little fighter jet kind of unit, good against infantry and aircraft. Tier 3, limited to 3 as well. And then you have in tier 4 a big old Jing Long gunship, which can use these mustard gas bombs, but I do not think these are the gas bombs. This might be a mistake. because you get, yeah, these are the flaming bombs. It's the wrong description over here. They are enabled by the flaming research here as well. Can land to transport stuff and can upgrade its flamers it normally has with 2 plasma cannons, which is really nice. Limited to 2, I think, yeah. Like a heavy gunship is normally limited to 2, you see here as well. So I think these are all the K-Thay units over here and all the conditional units you can have access in the skirmish with the various victory conditions. While some are a little too strong for standard PvP, some are really nice. I think if some stuff is a little adjusted, K-Thay could be good for PvP. For now I think it's a little too strong. I have played a few games with them and yeah, they seem to be a little on the strong side. The Schutztruppen as well, as you have the heavy stubbers in here too, and Inferno grenade launchers is a little too strong for the PvP department. They are limited to 3 units, however, and yeah, what I would really like to see added in normal skirmish without victory conditions would be these bunker additions, and maybe even the death armor. I don't know. But okay, this is the conditional units, and I have a last little save game for you where I show you the survival exclusive reinforcements, which there are 3 exclusive units you can also get, only get via survival reinforcements. And here are the survival reinforcement special units. It's basically 3, but I have shown these twice. It's the Fuchskopfjäger. This is your tier 1 reinforcement, which is basically Jäger. A little different name. Fuchskopf Watchmaster and stuff. And yeah, the big thing about them, I think they can have more grenade launchers and they have a little more stats, higher stats, but are more or less normal Jäger units. What are not normal units are these veterans. These veterans are kind of like these veterans from your Lord General Command Squad, but I have infantry armor instead of commander. I'm not sure if these veterans actually have infantry armor as well. I would reckon infantry high, but yeah, they can also get a veteran bodyguard, melee it's called. Basically that's a real bodyguard you would have on your command squad, and have an assortment of weaponry, grenade launchers, flamers, plasma guns and melter guns, basically the same as a soldier squad has, but they have a big array of grenades. They have frag grenades and crack grenades, and the veteran bodyguard squad leader gives you also the gas grenade. So very nice unit, which I would really like to have in skirmish, but are kind of redundant as in their role with other units. So yeah, but really looking cool. I like them a lot. Then showing over here, because you get 2 of them in the tier 3 reinforcement, which is the Fire Wolf. The Fire Wolves are basically Hellhounds on wheels instead of treads, I think. And yeah, basically the same unit. Has Pintle Heavy Stubber, can access to gem cannons or melter guns. You have a gem cannon enabled here, melter a cannon enabled, so melter gun enabled. So yeah, basically a Hellhound with wheels. I think maybe it's a little less tanky but more mobile, but yeah, it is just adding some variety in survival, that is. Yeah, these are the survival exclusive reinforcements. Now we have finally covered all the different units and stuff, and now jump over to the tech trees. And here we are on the tech tree document where I want to talk about some tech stuff, kinda. As usual, you can have it on my Google Drive link to download and see for yourself. What I want to tell you is that all the victory condition dependent stuff I have marked in red, like the special research over here, the special building, and also the special units in the assembly plant and infantry building over here. And yeah, I do not want to talk about all the different units because I have told you in the video already, but what I want to tell you about or talk about is the different tier strengths. The Korps of Krieg are relatively strong in tier 1 with their soldiers and the commander assortment. Jägers are really useful for what they cost, basically. The bunker enables you to withstand enemy attacks quite well, basically locking down a part of the map with a bunker. It is relatively expensive and can only build, of course, in the building radius, so you cannot just put in an enemy site and stuff, but you also want to think about your capping order on different maps. For example, on Fata Morgul, you want to cap the farthest out strategic point first, build a listening post over there, and to then build a bunker in between to the relic and stuff. So you you need to kind of think about your capping order if you want to place a bunker, which you normally want to build in tier 1. In tier 2, you get pretty strong as well. You have various options. The most obvious options is chimeras, of course. Chimeras and hellhounds can be really good, but infantry-wise, you have these weapon platoons over here, which can also be very important. And most people get it, and I would recommend to get it as well. Is the sniper. The sniper gives you big side range, gives you good anti-infantry damage and detection. So very versatile in what you get. As I said, tank-wise, you get the first tanks in these chimeras and Siegfrieds, as well as the Hellhound. Normally you see a lot of chimeras because they are so good, and yeah, go very well with the heavy weapon platoons. Yes, tier 3 I think is also pretty strong still, because you get the Vendetta, you get the Grenadiers, the Trench Raiders, and Ragnarok and Basilisk. So these are all units you really want to have, so really strong. Tier 3. Other factions get a little more in tier 3, I think. But yeah, and yeah, if you look then over to the tier 4, it is becoming even stronger, I have to say. Like, they build up a bit. Tier 1 is good, but can be exploited by the seal mechanic. Tier 2 is getting better with the chimeras and everything, so you can have a really good tier 2. Tier 3 is okay-ish. You have the Grenadiers, you have the Ragnarok and everything. Artillery, and then the Vendetta is a unit you really want to get. And tier 4 is when you get really big. You have the Lehman Russ, you have the Malkador, you have the Bombard, you have the Inferno, so quite big tank options. Also the Malkador or the Minotaur, and then even the Lucius Pattern Baitblade to it. So tier 4 can be really strong for you. The Titan tiers are okay. You have a tier 1 Titan, tier 2 Titan, and if you enable the grid conditions, you have even another tier 1 Titan kind of unit, like it's not a tier 1 Titan unit, it's more like a big super heavy, so can be good if you enable the victory conditions. If you enable KT, you really enable yourself to a big power push in tier 2 with these Blaze Troopers and the Plasma Carrier over here. The big downside in going KT is that you still need an assembly plant to get to tier 3, so you will prolong your tier 2 with it, which can be okay, but can also be a bit dicey in the sense. And yeah, KT gives you quite a lot of tanks availabilities in tier 4 as well, so if you go KT, your tier 4 with the upgrades and everything will be absolutely bonkers. Is there anything special I need to talk over here? You see that I have marked all the units that get bonuses from the seal over here, which is basically all Death Korps of Krieg infantry. It does not work on the KT units, however. And then in the end, I have the, of course, the survival exclusive units over here as well, the reinforcements. So yeah, see for yourself if you want to have a more detailed look. Yeah, this brings us to the next part of the guide, which is the build orders. And then I have not one, but 2 replays for you. So stay tuned. And here we are on the build order document, which is also in my Google Drive over here. I start with a more or less standard opener for Death Korps of Krieg, which is to get an infantry building, a generator, and I have it here in this kind. You want to have a bunker relatively quick. You will not normally build a bunker like in the building radius of your HQ, but in general, to keep in mind, once you have your first or second listing post, you want to have a bunker in a good position. Note that you only have 6 infantry caps, so you will see that I, for the most part, getting like 2 Jäger, which costs 1 population, and then 2 soldiers, which costing 2 each, getting to your 6 infantry pop. You normally do not want to get the infantry pop upgrade in tier 1 if you can avoid it. Yeah, you get a second builder before getting the Lord General Command Squad with either bodyguards, normally ranged, or a standard bearer. The most people go for the double ranged bodyguards. You can go for melee bodyguards as well if you really need it. If you have like an enemy faction that has range superiority over you, you can turn this guy to a melee unit. For example, if you want to fight Tau Fire Warriors, it would be a thing where I could see him getting a melee focus. Then you have the Jäger spam, which is one I kind of enjoy because it has good synergies. The synergies in general is that you get the Vox Center, which gives you upgrades for your Jägers. The first one you want to get immediately because it increases the morale and also giving a bit of health, I think. And yeah, you get 4 Jägers, then a builder, and then another Jäger. These are your fighting kind of Jägers, I call them. And this is the one that captures your critical location. So you have these 4 guys. And if you get the Vox Center, you have also access to these Commissars. And the Commissars is what makes this build even viable, starting to get viable. Because before these guys dying so quickly, losing morale, and then dying basically, the Commissar allows you to reset the morale and keep fighting basically. The Watchmaster is also getting them more survivability in the squad. And of course the Vox Center enables them to use their quote-unquote Jäger bombs, which I explained earlier, making them invisible for a short amount of time, which can be very important or very good in the very early stages. These relay and also the smoke bombs have quite a long cooldown, so you do not want to spam it, but use it on an opportune moment. Yeah, you also want to get a second upgrade here, which is the, what they called? Yeah, it's basically an HP bonus for all your units and equipment. It's called something equipment. All your infantry gets more HP from it. You could, in all these builds, think about adding for your engineers like a Kettenhund or the engineer commander if you need it. They can be a very viable combatant, but normally I do not have them included in the build orders over here. It's more, if you need them, get them. Then you have the soldier with grenade launchers, which is basically a prolonged tier 1. You have more or less the standard opener over here, which was the standard, getting a second soldier squad as well. But then you will get the Vox Center and get grenades, which is very important. And then the 2 infantry upgrades as well. You can skip one of them if you want to get to tier 2 faster, but then you want to have these grenade launchers. I mean, it also enables you flamers if you fight a lot of demons, but in general the grenade launchers are what people go for. You then can, yeah, as you have a prolonged tier 1, you might want to make use of it as well. Getting Commissars or even a Lady Inquisitor to attach to your soldiers over here. Maybe getting even a second bunker before getting more generators than to getting to tier 2. You see that I have 4 generators here because these grenade launchers are very expensive on the power side. Your commanders are expensive on the power side. Your bunkers are expensive on the power side, so it all adds up. If you, for example, skip the second bunker, you might as well could skip a generator, but having a second bunker on a good position on some maps can be more important than having a faster tier 2. Then you have this Inquisitor opener where the goal is to get the Lady Inquisitor out really early. This can be useful against factions that feature very strong commanders because the Hammer of the Witches can deal with them or can at least deal quite a lot of damage to them. And yeah, when you have it, you might as well make use of it. You see that you skip a generator here, so you can have a soldier squad. If you wouldn't skip the generator, the soldier squad would be skipped in the beginning, but you want to have some units on the field. You will add a second soldier squad, which you can then even add a commissar to, and then you want to get the watchmasters and grenade launchers. If you have the thing here already getting the upgrades, you see the bunker you do not get immediately because you don't have the power for it. The Vox Center costs power, the Lady Inquisitor costs power, and even you can even get the watchmasters with the first few power investment over here, or even grenade launchers. And then you want to have generators and a bunker and more generators and tier 2. You have a tier 2 rush, which is kind of working as well. You want to prioritize listening posts over a faster tier 2, however, so you want to start your first 2 listening posts before clicking the tier 2 button, or else you would delay your economy. Only works, of course, if your enemy is relatively passive. Yeah, for example, against AI, it normally works, of course. And yeah, if the enemy doesn't expect it and wants to play a more silent eco game, this can be a nice waking call, because then you suddenly have some chimeras at his doorstep or heavy weapon platoons, stuff like that. But remember, heavy weapon platoons, if you go heavy weapon platoons, the retinue members, the autocannon units do require you to have a Vox Center as well, so it can be very expensive to go for these guys in a fast tier 2. And the last one over here is more a, if you want to LARP a bit, the Schutztruppen opener. The Schutztruppen opener is not better than your normal opener with a like the soldier with grenade launchers. It's kind of similar to it. Because you do not get special weapons on those guys, you get, I need to add, you get the squad leaders here, I should add over here, you want to get them, but you do not get any special weapons until tier 2. So a more viable way to play them would be to get a faster tier 2 and then on the way tier 2 to get a Vox Center and then giving them their special weapons. But as I said, not completely balanced in my opinion for the PvP department, so I more have it like a little gimmicky, fun way to play it. Normally, yeah, this doesn't give you any benefits over soldiers in the beginning. Okay, these are the build orders, and as I said, I have 2 replays for you, 2 cars. The first one is a game I played against Grindon. Grindon is really potent player, and yeah, I played Korps of Krieg with quote-unquote standard units, and then I had a few games with another guy where I kind of used the victory condition units against him. Yeah, you will see us having a little talk there as well. But yeah, now jump into the replays. And here we are on the first replay where we have me as Korps of Krieg versus Grindon as Space Marines. So my plan for this map meeting of minds is to use the Jäger spam, as you have a hell of a lot of points to capture, and yeah, having a lot of squads to capture these points will be very helpful. So you go for a generator first and then for Vox Center second. Vox Center you need not right away, as you do not use the smoke bombs or need a Watchmaster right away. So that's why you get the generator first, to get some better power income. For the capping order, I go for the first squad capping this squad and this point. The second squad captures these 2 points. The third squad captures these, and the fourth one will be sent in the middle. So then I have all my points, including the middle points, roughly at the same time, and these guys can fight right away. The upgrade on the Vox Center you do not get immediately, so you can get your first 2 points up. So you will see once the 4th Jäger squad is out, I get another engineer squad to build up this point. So this engineer go over here, then to this point, then to this point, and the engineer that's coming out as the second squad goes to this point, and then to the relic. So this is the order for it. You will notice that once I start at this point here, once I have enough resources, I will start to upgrade here. 75 is relatively cheap. Do I get it? Oh, maybe I do. I built the next squad before. And this last Jäger squad is for capturing the outer critical locations. So that's the idea of it. And now I'm getting the upgrade here, and you will notice, hopefully I'm doing it correctly, that I get the commissars now, so that I have my combat units right away. You see here that Grindon is already at my doorstep, getting some shots in with its snipers, with its scouts, but I'm not that concerned. You will see now finally getting the commissars out. And yeah, I could use the smoke grenades, but these guys are already almost finished capping. Do I use the smoke grenades? Yes, I do. So you see they are now infiltrated and still continue capping. That's pretty good. They're getting ready for decap, but I bring some stuff over to try to kill them while they do it, and maybe I'm getting it done or not. Yeah, they will not continue to capping, which is nice. Now I have 3 squads already here. The first commissar will be added to 1 squad. Second commissar is on the way. Third commissar should be also on the way, and at some point, yeah, I will add the Watchmasters now. I think you can, yeah, you can add 2 more squads to the 2 more members to the squads and 1 Watchmaster. These guys in the middle also finished the capping. Did not finish the capping, so they're now running out while infiltrated. And yeah, I have now 3 squads over here. I think 1, 2, 4, 5 squads, actually 4. These are all my 4 fighting squads. I have 2 commissars now, and now it's just standing in the heavy cover. I need to make sure to avoid the post commander. That's why I'm moving a little out of the way. And yeah, just keep on firing. You do not need to really focus fire. In these kind of engagements, you want to focus on getting your Jägers out of enemies' harm by using the smoke bombs and yeah, generally kiting. They are not dealing the greatest amount of damage against the commander, but they are, yeah, in great numbers they do enough, you know. And yeah, for now I'm just adding all the commissars and getting all my units to the maximum amount of models. And now the question is, what do I want to do? These are my Jägers from the bottom. I can now use them to capture the middle, and these should go, yeah, you go for the open points, for these points and for these points. You do not go into the base, of course. Having now also the improved infantry kit, so these Jägers are now relatively tanky for what they are. And yeah, trying to get some damage on this listening post done. The damage isn't the greatest, but yeah, you have a lot of models. Even yeah, the commander damage isn't the greatest. And yeah, now the same dance begins again. Moving back, and all the while building up some generators to get my tier 2 soon-ish on the way. Upgrading 1 point over here. You can upgrade up to 2 points, I think, if you go for 3 generators. And now I'm just reinforcing and kiting. This needs to go back at some point. The force commander will be kited to, yeah, like there's no tomorrow. The damage, as I said, against commanders is relatively low, but yeah, he cannot do a lot on its own. We see the scouts can be killed and also the tactical marines. You see the morale was broken, immediately got back in shape and now retreating to the heavy cover. Is this heavy cover? Yeah, heavy cover. Resources should align shortly with this next generator to get me to tier 3. Here again you see the smoke bombs being used to capture this point. Now I'm trying to get a little arc around this listening post. Yeah, but once this is upgraded, there's no way just Jägers can kill the listening post, so I need to run away. I think it's also getting repaired, is it? It was lower at some point. Yeah, there was the servitor. He also has the skull probe now added to spot my guys. So they now run to the top side and getting pursued. Getting my tier 2 now, and you will notice on the way to tier 2 what this build order can do for you, and that is getting a hell of a lot of resources, because maintaining this force isn't very costly, but he has a good counter to it, is that the snipers now. The snipers can outrange me, they can break my morale easily, so I need to make sure to stay on top of those leads, but as you can see, they are really just sticking out of the way, and at some point I cannot go any further, because then I will be at enemy territory, especially against the listening post. Those guys got hunted down by space marines. Make sure if you get hunted down to go in the farthest corner of the map you can. And yeah, here you now see what I mean. I flowed a hell of a lot of resources, getting my engineers already ready and the stack deposit over here. I should move my engineers over here to build my assembly plant as soon as possible in tier 2. That is my plan, getting a lot of power and then getting, yeah, more stuff. And here you see I do not have any more of these morale restoring abilities. I only have the smoke bomb, and yeah, now I need to run away, but yeah, immediately broken again, and this squad is now toast, to be to speak also in the term of their flaming death. Now getting a thermoplasma radar as soon as possible, getting an assembly plant as soon as possible, and getting the next upgrade, advanced reconnaissance. I could, I do not have a soldier building, so I cannot get a bunker. This is a big downside of this. I could get now one of these turrets, however. Now I think he wants to hit here, so I'm getting in position to get over here, getting some crack grenade launchers, but he attacks on the other side. And that's pretty bad, because here is my assembly plant being built. He's also really nice, sees it and tries to focus down the engineers, and you will notice it was almost done, but it is not done. It is not done. This is like setting me really back now. Normally I would, if it's done, I could start to produce some chimeras already, and he does not have rocket launchers yet. So this is big setback to my plan over here. And I think I quickly thought about sending in these guys, but I cannot. I built a separate assembly plant over here, which is pretty out of the way, and I will add a gun turret emplacement over here and get my units in position, because I cannot defend this position, but I will want to prevent him from getting back in my base. And you will see that I cancelled at some point getting all the resources back. You see, big resources. Now the assembly plant is done over here, and I should immediately start producing chimeras, and I think I'm a little late on that. Yeah, at some point you will notice that I'm getting a little not so good with the resources and stuff. This is the longer the game goes. And this was one of the engagements I really like. He was like, hey, go inside of here, and then gun turret emplacement, upgrade the listening post, 3 squads of Jägers. Everyone is shooting back, and it's like, okay, you can have this little victory. My idea was to sandwich them now, that I get these Jaegers from here and the assault camera over here. But one strength of the Space Marines is that they can add missile launchers at moment's notice, and then my cameras are toast. Getting another field generator over here because I need even more power now. Getting now these guys back in outside, getting these scouts out of the way. But yeah, over here I cannot hold this position with just cameras. So my idea was, yeah, it even stunned I think my camera with a scalper, really nice. So my idea is now to get my point over here and still spam some cameras, getting also now another gun turret emplacement over here to have this even more locked up. But yeah, the map control is no longer mine. I have to fight for every single point that I have. Getting now the camera out of the way, getting more cameras, and I think I already started tier 3, yes. So my idea was I cannot win with cameras and stuff, I go to tier 3. Also an idea in hindsight 2020 would have been better, probably would be at soldier building and yeah, get some heavy weapon teams or even some death riders against these guys, because they are all anti-vehicle weaponry, there's no heavy bolt or nothing. They now will kill my assembly plant, which is really sad. I spent so much time building it, getting now with these storm cameras into enemy base because I cannot fight them directly, might as well go out here. Almost killed the generator. I will kill the generator, that is nice. And these guys are not moving, it's not good. I should be more active with them, check if he has select deposit on his own, which he has, so this would be a prime target for these Jaegers over here. Always check, but I'm too busy defending and microing my cameras that are not even thinking about checking this side, which is yeah, kinda sad. Tier 3 is almost finished, so I need to rebuild the assembly plant somewhere and get to get more stuff out, and also adding now finally the field barracks, where I want to get some grenadiers and stuff. All the while the taken hold victory is ticking, getting these guys now finally out of the base with these Jaeger bombs. You can see that you can also use it offensively, like I used it here to charge into enemy sniper lines without getting shot. That's a good idea, but yeah, now they're getting bad micro over here, and now they are like sandwiched between the snipers and this one. Now getting the charge ability getting used. It's available from tier 2 on, and you see it can be very useful to disengage. I'm getting also the chemical warfare drills because I want to get mortar platoon. Getting also the infantry cap increase because I see a hell of a lot of infantry, no vehicles, so I thought if I get a chem bomb off or two, it could be really nice. But yeah, tier 3 is finished, and I have a big lack of requisition, which is a problem. Getting a Vendetta heavy gunship, that is nice, but to have the cap for it, I would really need to get a assembly plant, which I do not have. There's the first Rhino now being added. Yeah, making short work of this poor mortar team over here. Getting, yeah, he cannot get into observation post. It could have gone into field barracks, but now it has made space for the Vendetta gunship, and yeah, fighting this head on for now, trying at least get these guys, but then catching some missiles, so I'm yeah, defending, going back. So I'm getting a little cornered over here. All my resources been spent into Vendetta and also now the sniper kill team. The sniper kill team I thought because I need to see more where I can move, and also it will be able to shoot a few guys with their last gun. Not sure how big the damage is, but yeah, it's good enough. And as I cannot fight this blob directly, I move this Vendetta heavy gunship to the enemy side and trying to do some economy damage. All the while I'm still struggling to get my assembly plant back up. There it goes. It's really a big building, you need to really see where you can go. And yeah, the sniper is here now, also getting infiltrated, fighting back these guys. Not sure how big the damage is, it's okay-ish. Yeah, this now try to get the listen post, but it's getting repaired. Yeah, and here you see how you really must use aircraft flying away. Now I'm also focusing down these servitors because I can, which is always a nice thing to kill enemy builders. It's a big menace to get them back. And yeah, but I lose no more soldier building. I lost this listing post over here. My economy is still kinda okay-ish. Quickly checking, yeah, his economy of course is better. He has the map control. And now killing also this Rhino back here, which enables me to kite even more. Second Vendetta gunship over here is now able to finish those guys because they have a lot of anti-infantry stuff, a lot of scalp ropes, and even these Jaegers here being useful in tier 3 is still yeah, building back up my stuff back up, but yeah, you see it's only 1 minute left and I need to get engineers to build stuff, and also need to think how I can decap this point, and I have a plan. Will it work out or not, we will see shortly over here. A Vendetta gunship in the back, killing a listening post. Yes, killing it. I think it killed one generator in the back as well. But yeah. Yeah, and now I'm really struggling. I'm thinking, could I go to tier 4? Probably not. Heading now a Ragnarok because I can, but there's only 1 minute left. So my idea is that I use this Vendetta heavy gunship over here and load in these guys and ferry them over here or over here, because there's a big no man's land of enemy forces, at least in my mind. This was the idea. And yeah, the problem is that I'm not microing it correctly. I'm now getting these set up and then immediately need to go back up, and I think I ordered it to move. And you see the time is really ticking, because I think you need 10 to 15 seconds to decap. And yeah, I'm not microing it correctly, so this is the big problem over here. Ragnarok is now out. There's a enemy flyer now out as the first vehicle after a Rhino. Rhino is back up. There's a Ragnarok getting the big demolisher cannon. It has it a minimum firing range, yeah, but still doing a lot of damage. But yeah, it's 10 seconds. Using, I think, do I use a mustard run? Yes, doing some chemical warfare, and now even going down to get those out. But yeah, the opponent achieves the take and hold victory after 15 minutes of an absolutely awesome game. I really liked this game against Grindon. The big problem of me was the assembly plant thing you saw over here, and not killing his thermal resonance generator. So this was the big problems on my side, as well as not getting heavy weapon platoons or mortar platoons. If they are like in the back of the base over here, they have quite a long range, or even over here, you can defend the infantry assaults. And yeah, with these Jaegers on this side with the crack launchers, they could easily take down this plasma generator. Also, of course, the flyers could have taken down more of the enemy economy than I did. So this was the first replay to show off the more or less regular playstyle you can go for Krieg, and I have another replay where I show you more of the new added units in action. So see you in a second. And we are on the second replay where I play a guy called Softwine. Never saw him before, but played a few games against him, and he seems to be pretty solid. He goes Adeptus Mechanicus Explorators, and I'm going, of course, Death Korps of Krieg, and I go for the standard-ish opener in the beginning. 2 Jaegers into Engineer, Field Barracks into Field Generator, Lord General, Command Squad, 1 soldier over here for now to capture this point. The capping order, because I want to build a bunker, is that I get the first squad over to this point, which then gets the relic as well. The second Jaeger squad goes for this point, because it's the outside point, and this one. And then I send these Jaegers to the outside critical locations, whereas the soldiers will capture this point, and then I can decide go offensive with the Lord General Command Squad, or go for the middle critical location, or need to defend. This is all depending on the opponent's actions. Here comes the Lord General Command Squad, the soldier squad capturing over here. The engineers go over here to build this point up, and you see that the soldiers are actually faster than the Jaegers in the capping side over here, so they capture this point. There you go, and then they can go over here. Lord General Command Squad immediately going for bodyguard range veteran. This is also why you do not get a second soldier squad and stuff, because you want to get these veterans out pretty quickly. And you see they cost a hell of a lot of power, so this is one of the reasons why you always go for a generator in this kind of thing. So now I'm getting poking a little bit, getting the Lord General in front, because he's more tanky, and the soldiers on the side. And want to see if there's anything happening over here. Bunker going up on this side, very importantly, like your standard turret placement basically. And I don't see anything, so I might as well capture this, and yeah, be more of a defensive playstyle for now. Getting my stuff up and things like that. Getting the bunker up, capturing these points. Yeah, all so fine and dandy. Getting this point up. Bunker will be up soon-ish, very important. To have something to defend over here. You will see shortly why that is. This point is also soon there. They got a little trick, loading it in here, loading it back out over here to save some time walking and getting this point up faster. And yeah, this point is almost captured, this point in the middle halfway captured. And yeah, these Jägers are now going to the outside critical location. And yeah, this point is captured and these go now out to this point over here. Soon have enough resources and build up. Very nice. Very nice, Max. Capping the point in the middle, so I will have some more vision to see. And there comes the warrior. The warrior has a flamer already and he wants to get some of these engineers. And if I'm not, how should I say, careful, they will get them also. I'm getting them to reinforce and I'm wanting to build this, wanting to finish this building. Not sure if I'm able to, I'm not. And yeah, I finished the capturing of them in the middle. And now I get these engineers inside of this and cutting over here so they can man the bunker, and the bunker now firing. He also dropped a torrential turret. The positioning is not so good as it is relatively frail. You want to have it behind your troops, like here for example. Now the bunker is focusing down the warrior of the Messiah, slowing him absolutely hell of a lot. Will he go down? I think I changed the target at some point. I think I do so. The bunker taking hell of a lot of damage from this torrential turret, so I'm now getting my engineers out, repairing it. I need to get someone else inside. I'm getting the Jäger squad. Was it the Jäger squad? I think it was the Jäger squad from over here. No, this is over here. I got a second soldier squad, and it was not a soldier. It was these what I called Schutztruppen. Also reinforcing them engineers a bit because I think you can repair. You repair faster with a third model. Now I always focus the makers now focusing down on the infantry because the infantry will bleed models and will decrease the enemy DPS. There was some repair going on from the warrior, but the warrior also taking a hell of a lot of damage. But yeah, I need to get these guys out of the way, and I do not. The AoE on it is really hard. The bunker taking more and more damage, but the warrior as well. Focusing on the warrior going down, bunker as well. And there the Schutztruppen out, Schutztruppen quickly checking. Dealing not more damage, at least in the tooltip over here. So there, I was thinking if they are better than the standard soldiers. I think they have different weaponry. These have the las cannons and they will have bullet firing guns. And firing down now on the turret. As you see, it is relatively frail, so I can get it. The bunker I want to get a little more up front, and now can capture my critical relic. The points, I have all the critical locations, so my economy is pretty good. And yeah, this was emergency now, and now I need to get back into normal mode, getting another generator and then getting the next tier up, getting the point over here captured by these Jägers. I had one squad of Jägers in the middle that was not being used. These are now joining the combat force over here, adding the second ranged veteran. I think I had 2 and 1 got killed. Soldiers now getting also reinforced to the maximum to have a fighting force at the enemy side. Bunker is back up, loading, and the engineer for now will get him out later on the line. Generators up, point getting upgraded over here. And now I want to see how his defensive look, because if you are that offensive with like 2 with fast builds and warriors and everything, yeah, that's the issue. You normally will not have your own relic up, so I get the Jägers into capturing mode, and these guys want to see what the second point is up to. See here now a second torrential turret in a very bad position. This is not a point you want to defend. If you want to position a defensive torrential turret, it would be over here. Now I see these more or less undefended listening posts, and yeah, getting added, and now getting attacked by grenade launchers at the side, which is not ideal. So I'm getting a little better arc, kind of. And now focusing. I could have kept the reinforcement at capturing over here, but I yeah, wanted to get all the units inside. And now comes the sappy bits of this STC searcher, and this is the point where you need to run away, because these sappy bits do AoE damage, and if you have like Krieg has high model count, low HP, you really want to fall back now. This point is now captured here, getting built up now. Tier 2 is soon to be there, getting now the in live war, improves the morale and some HP. And yeah, I thought I want to prevent him from getting this point up. This is still worthwhile to stay here, denying him a point or two. He is tier 2, so that is gonna be a problem. But yeah, I'm now getting the interplanetary reinforcement zone because I want to have the K3 units. I'm also getting like the heavy stubbers into it, which is what I said the Soulstorm can enable you. This was the game when I really noticed that you get a pretty big advantage for going the K3 and all the different victory conditions for Krieg. So that's when I realized I cannot go that in a more competitive setting. Then yeah, getting engineers here because I thought if I get this point finished up in capturing, I might get a point over here and then getting some stuff inside. I think I want to get a turret here as well, but it costs you 90 power. I think I will get it over here because I want to have a little foothold over here. And there comes the Hellstalker, and Hellstalker is quite the issue because I do not have good anti-vehicle except for these Jaegers, and the Jaegers getting absolutely minced right now. I use the Jaeger bomb still to get them, yeah, but there's so much detection for AdMech that it is not really worthwhile. Having now advanced reconnaissance, increasing the range of my bunker because I thought that I could set up a bunker here, but for now, what is killing my units? I'm not sure what he meant here. It was just regular fire, I guess. It's just, yeah, firing and turret emplacement. Yeah, that's the grenade launchers, and these have the fire grenade launchers, but yeah, not dealing a hell of a lot of damage against vehicles, of course. They have these inferno grenade launchers, which is special on these lads over here, and now trying to get the first KT units out in displaced troopers. Hell of a lot of expensive, only one infantry pop however, and yeah, soon killing this Hellstalker. This gun turret emplacement is really, yeah, the MVP in this. Every shot killing about 300 HP on this guy. So this is the anti-vehicle I have over here. It's a big turret. One guy, yeah, has never been seen again, getting chucked in the river. The Hellstalker getting reanimated. It has a passive to get reanimated. So there you go. But getting killed again. And now the first Blaze Trooper squad coming in. They have a long range. Is this still alive again? Yeah, what the fuck was that? I'm not sure what he meant really. There was some grenade launchers and stuff. And having of course this turret over here. Being very good, very expensive but very good. Soldiers getting into melee. This guy even reanimated as well. So both these Hellstalkers reanimated. What's the chances of that? Now finishing up this turret over here, so I have quite a defensive position over here, getting the special weapon training to add more stubbers and stuff. Yeah, and the Blaze Troopers over here, second squad of Blaze Troopers, Commissar getting in. You always want to have Commissar. If you go for infantry blobs, you want to have Commissars to get the reliability of. Now also taking this this STC search away with the incendiary grenade launchers as well as the heavy stubbers, so that's pretty mean. I can get them into range as well. Do I micro them? Come on Max, you can do it. Micro them just a smidgen further. You see that yeah, greatest player alive here. Yeah, getting my commissars now in here as well to get to the soldiers and the Schutztruppen to give them morale and HP regeneration. What does he do? Do I add him now? Not really now. Incendiary grenades and everything. Base troopers getting these. Squad over here. And now getting the Baihu assault troop crawler. Yeah, getting now the... No, the commissar is still not in the squad. Huh. By the Emperor it will be done. And I think, yeah, I'm enjoying this position over here. You see the HP regeneration really kicking in. Yeah, this guy is just standing here for now. Got the point now, getting now the Baihu thing through the middle because it's the faster way. Getting decapturing this point, getting some shots on the rental turret over here, killing it pretty fast, and you see the range and damage of these Blaze Troopers is a bit too much for the tier 2s. They are more equivalent of tier 3 units, I guess. Okay, the damage isn't as high, but they are also pretty tanky, I think, yeah. Yeah, the damage is pretty high. They have their upgrade, I think, their HP upgrade. So yeah, for now, laying siege on the enemy, what Krieg really likes, having this point now captured up, getting now a gun turret emplacement next to the opponent, and yeah, going through the middle, adding now also the assembly plant, because I think I need to go for tier 3 at some point. The Magos over here has called in a thing over here, no idea what killed my stuff. Still not sure what he meant on this part. This was more or less grenade launchers, maybe the incendiary grenade launchers of the Schutztruppen, but in general nothing out of the ordinary. Before you get the upgrades, your splash pits aren't the greatest. And yeah, the Bayou assault troop crawler we saw over here, we saw the Schutztruppen in action with their incendiary grenade launcher with the heavy stoppers, and also now the blaze troopers. They have this toggle where they activate their shoulder mounted flamers, which they don't need now. Yeah, he now realizes that I used the add-on. And yeah. Okay, the add-on and stuff. Getting the road missile. And yeah, getting all the points up, and he is, yeah. He is now asking, because it's the third game we play, I noticed that he's now also tier 3, because these things enable in tier 3. I need to run away, because he's dealing a hell of a lot of damage, and I thought, okay, I killed his economy over here, now move over to this side. Getting also some long-ranged plasma gunshots, and I think tier 3 is also on the way. Yeah, getting, I think, another troop crawler, because might as well. And yeah, playing siege with the gun turret emplacement, it's always nice. Yeah, this he asked if I used it before. We had played 3 games where I had it enabled but not used it. So yeah, he's like, this is maybe because I lost these games, because he used these units and stuff. I did not, I just wanted to use them here. He's really sports about it, I like it. Still the commissar over here, the lonely commissar, just looking at this gun turret emplacement over here. So this was a fun game. I like to see them in action and get a feel for them. Not really sure on how to, if they should be balanced that much, or if they should be more of a fun addition with KT, until they maybe at some point in the future, maybe, I don't know, are used somewhere else. But yeah, GG. Love you, whatever. He's now out. So these were the second replay where I wanted to show you some of the Blaze Troopers and Tier 2 KT stuff, as well as the Schutztruppen in action, which are the first units you can have access if you're enabled to the different add-ons and stuff. So yeah, I hope you liked this guide. If I forgot something, if you want to add something, if you have some additional input and stuff, maybe even another build order that I haven't had in my build order preview, yeah, please share everything. If you just want to say that you like it or don't like it, please also share. There's a female. You have sometimes female soldiers inside, and there you have one. You have also a female voice over for the Krieg guys and girls. Very nice Blaze Troopers over here. Yeah, I'm repeating myself. So as usual, guys, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.